House Rule 11-2H4, the chair may postpone further proceedings today on any question of approving any measure or matter, adopting an amendment on which a recorded vote of the ayes and nays or orders, and without objection, the chair is authorized to declare recess at any time. So ordered. Today, the committee will consider H.R. 2440, full utilization of the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund Act, H.R. 1984, the Disaster Act, and H.R. 2502, Transparency in Federal Building Projects Act of 2019, and General Services Administration Capital Investment Leasing Program resolutions. Given competing hearings obligations for members this morning, my hope is to move these measures quickly. We would first consider H.R. 2440, the full utilization of the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund Act. I now call up H.R. 2440, ask unanimous consent to discharge the Subcommittee on Water Resources and Environment from further consideration of H.R. 2440, and to be considered as read and open to amendment at any point. Without objection, so ordered. This has been an issue that's been before this committee. This will be the third time, and it's in slightly different form, but it has passed out of committee unanimously in two previous Congresses, but was removed by the Rules Committee from the Water Resources Development Act before consideration on the floor. The American Society of Civil Engineers estimates we will need an additional $15.8 billion between now and 2020 to meet the growing demand for the post-Panamax ships. And the harbor maintenance tax would provide adequate revenues to do that if we spend the full amount of income each year, and if we begin to access and prudently spend down the accumulated balance somewhere in the Treasury. This bill is quite simple. It'll provide a discretionary cap adjustment that will allow for full utilization of the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund for the intended purposes of adequately maintaining our harbors of all sizes, as well as critical infrastructure such as breakwaters, jetties associated with those ports. We would spend the money, on an annual basis, the full, as I said before, the full income and the accumulated balance. So this would add up to $34 billion over the next decade. The industry has strongly supported this tax. It was essentially self-help. When they supported, the shippers supported the idea of imposing this minuscule ad valorem tax. Consumers benefit, the shipping industry benefits, America benefits by having our ports be efficient on a daily basis. Our 58 largest ports have about 40% of capacity, authorized capacity. So this is a long overdue investment from this committee, and I've always objected to the idea that we are collecting a tax for a specific purpose, and yet somehow diverting or spending the money elsewhere or using it as an illusory deficit offset. It would be much better spent for its intended purpose, and this legislation would guarantee that. Without objection, I'd like to enter into the record several letters of support of this legislation from a broad array of ports, too long to list, and industries and shipping interests. And I would now recognize Subcommittee Chair Napolitano to explain the bill.